Přijde vysílat. So, am I online? Yes, 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 yes. I can see it. I can see it that I'm online. So, hello tennis guys and tennis ladies. Welcome to my first live stream on my tennis channel. It's called Deuce. Every tennis fan knows what does it mean, Deuce. And why I did this, why I named the live stream Deuce. So when we have Deuce in a game, I think it's one of the most important scores in the game, because if you have Deuce, you are likely to have a break point, or your opponent is going to have a break point. So the Deuce is a very intense score in a game where the magic happens. So yeah, I like it. It's a crunch time in the game when we have Deuce and the guy on the serve is under pressure because he should win the game if he serves. We all know that, but yeah, in modern tennis everything is possible. The guys on return, they are getting better and better, so the serve is not more that advantage as in previous decades of tennis where the tennis was faster, much faster than today, because we have bigger balls, the surface is slower, and that's why even guys who specialize on clay can win on hard court. And first of all, I would like to congratulate Rafa. He did something really unbelievable. I watched the whole final from the very beginning to the very end, and it was one of the greatest tennis matches I've ever witnessed. And I really hold my thumbs for Rafa, even though I'm a Technifiber guy. I'm a Technifiber ambassador. So Daniil Medvedev is my my great idol, not only for this brand, but also he's a special person, special personality, and I like him very much. But in this final, I wished that Rafa wins the final and gets his 21st Grand Slam. So that is the introduction for this live stream. If you are watching it, you can ask me any question you want, and this live stream will be there for 30 minutes. So I planned it for 30 minutes, and I hope you have some questions which I can answer you, of course, if I know the answer. But I would like to talk of course about the head booms. I finished the review. The review I hope will go live in a few days, and I have to say what a journey it was. Lots of you commented on my videos that the head booms are bad rackets, that the rackets are a gimmick, that they don't really work, and that they kind of confuse people who want to buy tennis racket from head. And I was the same opinion at the beginning. Let's say the first 2 hours with the rackets, I was really thinking, what are these rackets doing on the market? Why are the rackets there? But after playing more and more with the rackets and sharing the rackets also with other people, because that's important. That's important. My opinion, okay, is one person's opinion. But if you give the racket to other people, then you get much more information, much more feedback, and the feedback from all the people I gave the head booms, the MP and the Pro, was great, Everybody loved them, and even one of my women who plays with Babolat Pure Drive is going to switch to the head boom MP after her playtest. She really loved the easy feel, the easy maneuverability, the easy swing, and in the same time the racket maintains the stability. The feel is great for this type of racket, and she was just overall very happy. And one of the things she said to me after the training with the Boom MP was, I feel free with the racket. I feel I can do more, I can play more with the racket. Because when she was playing with the Pure Drive 300-gram racket, she got tired after 40 minutes. And she wasn't able to finish the training in, let's say, in 100% performance. So she struggled with the weight of the racket, with the swing weight of the racket. But with the Boom MP there is no such an issue. You can play with the racket forever and you will never get tired, and that's something I really like about these rackets. So yeah, the Boom is not a boom racket. I think the biggest mistake of head is the name for the racket, because the rackets are not that powerful as people may think, because if you hear the name, the Boom, you are like, okay, these rackets will be so powerful, you will lose control, but it's not the case. So I think that the name for the rackets is kind of misunderstanding, can lead people to different reactions even before they play with the rackets. So yeah, that's my maybe biggest complaint, the name for the rackets. Maybe if the rackets were called maybe head auxetic, which is the main technology, it would be much more interesting. Head auxetic, or something more, let's say, neutral, because the Boom, yeah, it sounds like explosion, but these rackets, they don't explode in your hand at all. You still have the control, the feel of other similar rackets from head. Okay, I have here some question and some info. You can see it. I hope you can see it in the chat too. So there is a question from James Raid Van Foris. Yeah, I answered some questions from him. Okay, and what does he say to me? So I agree, it was a good match, but best ever. One of the best matches I've ever seen. One of the biggest comebacks, and probably the biggest comeback from Rafa, as he said himself, after all the injuries and everything, the pandemic. And I think there have been better, including Djokovic versus Federer Wimbledon 2019. Yes, there were many, many great matches, and maybe even better, yes, in terms of the overall quality of the match, because I think Medvedev and Rafa, they struggled little bit to perform the very best. There were some mistakes from both of the players that were kind of unusual. But once again, if you give into the context everything what happened before, then it was a really, really great match. Really, really great match. Intense match, very physical. But yeah, quite a lot of unforced errors that are kind of unusual for both of these players. So, boom fills a niche need in the racket world. If it's a beginner or lower level player racket, fine. I like lighter weight rackets at my age, 61 too. Yes, if you are 61, I will probably suggest you try the boom, because you will feel like you are maybe 40 again with the racket. That's the great thing about these rackets. So let me tell you something. So I'm 38, I will be 38, and I still feel great, in great condition, in great shape, but I'm no longer that fast with the swing and with my movement than I was when I was 25. That's just an illusion. I think I'm better, but the reality is that I'm not. I'm just getting older and a little bit slower, even if I'm 38. And with the boom rackets, I feel much younger. I feel I can swing fast with confidence. I can do everything what I want with the racket, and no ball, no stroke is impossible with these rackets. And most of my tennis life I played with Babolat Pure Drive, but the plus version, the longer version, and the longer version of Pure Drive, even if it is 300 gram, it is much heavier to swing with. It's much heavier. The swing weight is around, I believe, 330 with the plus version. And I played with the racket like 20 years. It was hard. It was a hard work. And now, when I'm 38, I want a little bit something lighter, because the power is not 100% like it was 15 years ago. It's just like it is. We have to accept this. So if you are 61, then the MP version, I believe, will be great for you. So if you had to compare the boom to another racket on the market, which would it be? I'm thinking Head Radical S. Yes, Head Radical S. According to Head, the Boom MP is on the same power and control level as the Gravity S, and it's a little bit higher than the Radical S. So the MP is little bit more control oriented than the Radical S. And I believe you will feel with the Boom MP, you will feel very confident, and you will feel like you are playing with a heavier racket in terms of the feel and the performance and the precision. But everything is much easier to do. So yes, Radical S can be similar to the racket, but maybe the Speed MPL is a better comparison to the Boom MP. For me personally, the Pro version now is the best option for me, because it's a 310 gram racket, but it feels much easier, much lighter. And in my previous reviews for the Czech store, when I reviewed the Speed racket, the Speed Pro, great racket, I loved it so much, but after 1 hour or 40 minutes I was getting really tired. I couldn't swing with the racket properly, and that's why the Boom Pro is for me a lighter version of the Speed Pro. So if you are that person who wants to try or who wants to play with a racket that is similar to Speed Pro, go for the Boom Pro. It's very close, but it's much easier to do everything. So that's what I like. So what about Völkl V1 or V1 Pro? Sorry, I don't have anything to say about these rackets because I didn't test them, I didn't play with them. But what I've heard from and read from other playtesters and what I've read on forums and under other videos and reviews, the Völkls are really good, really good. They seem to be the rackets of the, let's say, of the good old generation, a really solid rackets, but maybe they are too difficult for someone to play with, to swing with. And I'm not sure what are the parameters for the Völkl V1 and V1 Pro. Can Google it. Völkl V1. V1, okay. Check page. So the V1, Völkl Classic V1, is it possible it weighs 285 gram? Is it possible? And the balance is 330 millimeters. Oh, yeah. I can see that the head is bigger. It's 102 square inches, so a bigger head, so a easier racket to hit the ball, a bigger sweet spot. So maybe this racket can be comparable to the MP version, to the Boom MP, but the Völkl will be not as good with the precision because the head is bigger. So I believe that the Boom MP is a better option if you want better precision and probably a better feel. And the Völkl V1 Pro. Völkl V1 Pro. It looks like 300 gram racket, maybe. Okay, we have there quite few versions. So we have there is this one, the VCell V1 Pro. Is this the version? Do you mean this version? Not sure, but let's go through the specs. So 305 gram version. Head size is 642 square centimeters or 99.5 square inches. So interesting head size. I've seen different head sizes, but this one I've never ever seen 642 square centimeters. So I've seen 640 square centimeters, but 642, that's almost, let's say, 645. But will this help with the precision, maybe a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, the frame is interesting. 23 millimeters on the top of the head, 20 millimeters in the middle of the head, on the sides, just 20 millimeters, very thin, and 23 millimeters in the throat. That's quite unusual. That's really unusual. The thinnest part of the frame is the head on the sides. So yeah, I can see it here on the picture. Can I zoom in? Yes, I can see it here that there the frame is thinner on the sides. So that's kind of weird, because usually the frame in this section is thicker to give a better stability to the head, and there is thinner. So what does it mean? Well, the head will actually flex. The head will actually flex, so it will give more pop to the ball, more slap. So if you hit the ball, the head will slap the ball a little bit. So yeah, it might give the ball extra speed, extra free speed. But what about the control? I'm not sure about that and how it will work on volleys. So I don't know, but interesting concept for sure. James Wright, I love Völkl, very underrated. Fools a lot of people because they are rated as very stiff but do not feel that way when played. Only using Völkl can show you. Do not call them old school, they are definitely not, just overlooked. Völkl Tech delivers feel and comfort and also power, even with very high stiffness ratings. So what are actually the stiffness ratings for these rackets? Can I find them anywhere? Does the Tennis Warehouse sell these rackets? Völkl, yes. Okay. So, a little bit history about Völkl, or as I remember them. So, there was a time when I was a junior, when I was, I don't know, 15 or 14, and there were like 5 people out of 10 in the Czech Republic who played with the Völkl. It was amazing. Everybody played with the yellow Völkls, with the yellow-black Völkls. Why? Because our PetrKorda did play with the Völkl. And when someone from your country plays with a racket, and he was one of the best tennis players in his time. He was, you know his son Korda, who plays now in the United States, because he moved there. But his father, he was our idol when I was young. It was my idol. I was watching him. He was very entertaining. His style of play was very entertaining, but also he worked really hard with the slice backhand, and everyone liked PetrKorda. So one of our great tennis legends, heroes of the past, and he played with the Völkl. And what was it? What was the type of the racket? Some Völkl C10, or I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe I can Google it. Völkl Petr Korda. So yeah, Völkl was 20 years ago was an amazing racket. Or 25 years ago, amazing racket. Amazing brand. So here we have Peter with this Völkl. Yeah, this yellow. Okay, yellow, black, and the color is actually similar to the. I will show you. I have here the Agassiz Radical. This is the replica. So this is the replica of Agassiz Radical. So this was the color, and this color of the Völkl is very similar. I'm not sure if you can see it. Probably you don't see it, so I will move it. This. So here's the PetrKorda's Völkl. So yeah, maybe they are underrated, but that's how it is. That's how it is. I believe there are many tennis rackets that are underrated, but they need to the tennis racket brands. They need tennis players, tennis heroes, tennis stars who play with these rackets. Then people will see them in TV, and then they want to buy these rackets. And if they don't have any star on their list who plays with Völkl, then it's very difficult. It's very difficult to go through all the competition from Head, Wilson, Babolat, and other racket brands. So most have high stiffness rating. High stiffness rating. Völkl. Okay, I will look at this. Völkl V-Cell V1 Pro. What is the stiffness rating? 68. Okay, it's higher than, let's say, most of the rackets today. But hey, we have Babolat rackets and the Pure Drive. They have 72, 71, 72. Great, powerful rackets. And I didn't struggle with the comfort. I played with them all my life, and even they are very stiff, I didn't have any arm issues. I used a softer poly, let's say, to compensate the stiffness. Let's take a look on another racket. Okay, there's the Pro and Classic Völkl. Völkl C10 Pro, I believe. This was the racket that Petr Korda did use previous generations. And stiffness for this racket is only 64, so quite flexible racket, 330 gram, heavy with a balance to the hands, 310 millimeters, and a very thin beam. So this racket looks like a pro stick, let's say. Yeah. I would love to hit with these rackets, but I don't have a chance to get them in my hand because the store I work for, we don't sell them. Okay. Do yourself and your viewers a favor and do a review of the current V1 Pro. So if you send me one, I can do it, but it's not possible for me to get the racket right now because no store around me sells these rackets. C10 is a heavy old school control oriented stick like a Prince Phantom Pro. Okay. They also need reviewers like you to make people aware of them too. Yeah, I would like to, but as I said, I want to test most rackets as possible, but I don't have the opportunity to get all these rackets. Okay, demo from Tennis Warehouse Europe. Yeah, maybe. The C10 Pro is very old, and when Völkl was hanging their head on being a comfort line of rackets, hence the 64 stiffness. I think the 64, 66 stiffness is quite usual for today's rackets. Okay, I have here another comment from Wolfgang Schlünz. Okay, hallo. So I can speak German, so hallo Wolfgang, ich hoffe dir geht's gut. Hello from Germany, you have an arm issues from the head boom MP. No. And do you play now with the boom MP or still Babolat Pure Aero Plus? No, I didn't play with the Pure Aero Plus, I played with the Pure Drive Plus. I don't play with it anymore. I play with Technifiber XTC, T-Fight XTC 295 gram racket. And it's very similar to Pure Drive, but it's easier to control. Looks you turned around with you meaning of the boom. So I've said that before, that at the beginning I didn't like the boom. I didn't understand why are the rackets here, but after I hit with the rackets more and more, I was really looking forward on every training just to hit with the rackets, and I didn't care about who I'm playing. So I grabbed the boom MP. I played with children, with women, with juniors, and it was fun. I couldn't make a mistake, and that's the magic of these rackets. You just hit with the racket and the balls goes in the court very, very easily. But as I said before, you don't lose the feel, and the power of the racket is not that high as you would expect. Not at all. At first few hits, you will actually think that the rackets are quite underpowered, because to get the power from the head boom, you have to swing fast. But it's easy to swing fast with the racket. So why don't you swing fast if it is so easy? So with some heavy rackets, you just can't swing fast because you don't have the proper technique, and it costs too much energy to swing fast with, let's say, 320 gram racket. So if you don't have the proper technique, if you are not confident of playing with a 310 gram racket, then try the Boom Pro, which is 310, but the balance is more to the handle, so it feels much easier to play with. So yeah, I've read a question on some channel, on some YouTube channel, and someone was asking a question, a very simple question. What is the only one racket you would take with you on an island? Choose one racket to take on an island and to play with it for the rest of your life. And I said it would be the Boom Pro, because I know I can play with the rackets when I'm 50, when I'm 60. It's so easy to play with. But once again, the precision, the feel, it's very similar to other rackets from head, like the Radical MP, like the Extreme MP, but it's so easy to play with. So that's why I chose this racket, because I know I can get old with the Boom MP, with the Boom Pro, and the racket will be still very good and very easy for me to play with. What is the difference with the Boom MP and the Technifiber XTC 295? Mm, I would say that in terms of power, they are quite similar. But once again, the Boom MP is easier to swing with, and maybe it has little bit better feel than the XTC 295. In terms of spin, the Boom MP is not a spin oriented racket. It has like average spin, but the spin is always there if you need it. But the racket doesn't spin the ball just for yourself. The spin feels very nice, like a medium spin. And the XTC has a traditional oval shaped head, so for me the spin is a little bit better for the XTC, because you don't hit the ball that much on the top, like when you're playing with the Boom MP. You hit it a little bit lower where you have a bigger space, and the strings move in the center of the racket. They move a little bit more to the sides, and they create a little bit bigger snapback than on the MP, on the Boom MP, where you hit the ball on the upper part of the head, but the main strings, they don't move there so much to the sides, and that's why they create less snapback and less spin. So the rackets are similar, but I would from these two rackets, personally, from the Boom MP and from the Technifiber XTC 295, the winner is for me the Technifiber, because it has more mass. It's weighted more to the head. It's 325 millimeters, so 1 centimeter more to the head, and the Boom MP is 315 millimeters, so more to the hand. Less mass, less power, and a little bit less stability. So yeah, the Technifiber XTC 295 for me is a little bit lighter and more playable, easy playable version of the pure drive. Okay, so guys, 37 minutes, 38 minutes. So I planned this stream, my first live stream, for 30 minutes. The time is over, 38 minutes, and I thank you very much for joining me in this first live stream. I hope you liked it. I liked it very much. I liked all the questions from you. You are really into tennis rackets, and that's what I like. We want to talk about tennis rackets, and of course other things, strings, tennis shoes, tennis balls. But at this time, the first live stream is going to an end. So Wolfgang Schlunz, at this time I'm playing with the Bubble Pure Era Plus, but I'm looking for more control with the Blade V8 16 by 19. I get this control, but I miss the spin and the heavy serve. Yes, of course. Yes, of course you miss it, because the Pure Aero or Pure Drive Plus version, they are very powerful. These rackets are much more powerful than the standard version. So if you consider that the racket is 1.5 centimeters longer, that's a lot, actually. That's a lot. So the swing with the racket is a little bit slower, but at the same time it's much more powerful. And the plus versions, they are always much much heavier and harder to use, and you need everything do right to get the most of them. And I didn't like them on volleys. I really struggled, for example, on doubles. When I played doubles, I was bad on volleys. I was slow and sluggish, and sadly I didn't realize that when I was let's say 25 or 26, I still played with the plus version, because I got these rackets from my uncle, who lives in Germany, by the way. And he is a tennis coach, and he played when he was younger really good, and he has a contract with Babolat, and I was given his rackets for free, and that's why I played with the rackets. But now I regret it. I should have played with a standard version, not the long version. So with my 70 kilos, I didn't have the power to swing with the rackets properly. But yeah, very powerful rackets. And of course you miss the heavy serve. So you need to search for another stick that will feel a little bit like the Pure Aero Plus, but you will still have confidence in the swing, and you will not struggle with the swing. So yeah, we can discuss it in the next live stream. So guys, thank you very much for joining me. It was a pleasure. It was really nice to talk with you, to talk to your chat, and I hope you like it. If you like the video, it will stay, I believe it will stay in the video list, so everyone can watch it, not only you live, but also later. And yeah, that's all for today, and we will see in another live stream, in another video. So thank you very much, and enjoy tennis, play tennis every time, every day. Bye guys.